Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? We Paddy from across the shuck. And there we go. For all those who complain about too many slip joints, I have a locking knife. And this is an absolute beauty. This is one that my one of my subs, Mark, sent me in that lovely box of knives, and I have grown to really, really like this. Never ever heard of the model before. I'd never heard of the maker, but I have done a little bit of research just to get me started. And this is a knife made by Miguel Nieto, who is a Spanish maker. It's him and his two sons. Now, I'm not sure whether he's still going, but they started in about 1987 in the factory where they are now in Spain. And they make their knives mostly by hand. They reckon that this knife's made probably 80% by hand and then 20% by the addition of other things, whatever that may be. But it's a fairly well made knife for a handmade knife. It's in lovely olive wood inserts into the scales, front and back. Downside would be the pocket clip. It's just that one position. Doesn't bother me because the knife is beautiful. You could take that out and put this in a slip if you wanted to. It is beautiful looking. I just love the inlaid scales. They really are lovely. This backside is beautiful. Um, it has finger holes, which for my hand are absolutely perfect. It's not something I've come across very often or even wanted, but it holds the knife beautifully in my hand. I have a medium to large hand. This is a small knife, and I'll do size. In fact, we'll do size now and let you see. The knife closed is about 4 inches, and the knife open is about 6 7/8, with a blade length of just under 3 inches. But it's a lockback, so it's not legal in the UK. But it's one of those. Now, look at that blade shape. That is just the most beautiful drop point with a hollow grind that comes down to, and I'm going to say a reasonably thin edge. And the reason I'm not going to go any further than that yet is it needs sharpened. But if you can see this sharpening at the back here, the choil, I don't want to wreck this. So I want to put a little choil in there. I want to put a little choil in there so that I can sharpen it without coming up and destroying this. I haven't got my machine up here. It's down in the caravan. So I haven't sharpened it. So the knife is not extremely sharp at the moment. But when I do that and I put the little choil in it, the choil is going to start about here and just a little choil, a couple of millimeters up, so that I can sharpen it easier, because I don't want to ruin this knife. It's beautiful. It's aluminium, olive wood, just stunning. Stunning fit and finish for, again, a handmade knife. There's no lanyard hole in this. This is a real gentleman's carry. It just drops. Look at that. I nearly cut my finger. Thank God I had my nail there. But it is so well made. Look at that. It just drops. As soon as you disconnect it, bang. And that is a real sign of high quality to me. It's just beautiful to bring out. Now, you can see, let me just get this up. It's quite hard. There we go. It's got Nieto. There's the flowers around the big end there. And it's manufactured in Spain. And it's stainless. And this one is in 440C. Now, this is what I've sort of found out. Now, most of their models that I've had a look. Now, these are sold in America. They're sold in Europe. I haven't found a UK dealer yet, but I haven't spent a whole lot of time. But there's small dealers in Europe who post to the UK for €7. So it's not impossible. This knife in Europe is probably about £50. America is slightly dearer. The one I've been to, I've only found one. But I just went on Amazon and typed in Miguel Nieto, and there's plenty comes up. So it's something you just have to go and find out in your area what they've got and what the postage and all is like. But for $50 for a handmade knife, or 80% of it is handmade, I think it's beautiful. And to add to a collection, a Spanish knife, which is not something we all have. I think I have one other Spanish knife. But it's just gorgeous. Great big, if you can see the screws, the great big screws. I haven't taken this apart. I as you know, I don't tend to take my knives apart unless they really need it. And this, honestly, is just, it's completely free flowing. So there's nothing uh, that's causing me any desire to take the knife apart. It's beautiful. Let me see what weight it is. I'll just drop this. Now, I hope you're all having a great day. My wee day's not been too bad. I went for a long walk today. Well, I didn't go for a long one. I went for a short walk and done it very fast. And I've got legs on me like an old lady at the minute. I'm absolutely shattered. So it's 102 grams. Let's get this in ounces. 3.6 ounces, which is quite heavy, I suppose, if you're going on the size of the knife. But, you know, even the thickness of it, what's that thickness? It's about, where are we now? It's about 5/8 thick. It's not half an inch. Sorry, it's about 3/8. It's not half an inch across, but it's just a perfect size for a little gentleman's carry. I think you'll agree. It is beautiful. The olive wood is cut lovely. If I'm going to be completely honest, I can feel a wee bit of it risen here, but that would take nothing to fix. These scales come off, and it's only a matter of sanding that down, which I probably will do because this is going to stay in my collection. This is just lovely. Now, medium large hands, as I always show, it is incredibly comfortable and it feels secure. Really does feel secure in my hand. But I just love everything about it. It's thick. It's got a thick end on it. I mean, you could really put that end to somewhere. You could pry with that and not worry too much. And for a gentleman's knife, that's not always the case. I say the pocket clip, it doesn't do much for me, but I think I will probably take that off. I might even cut it off and leave that blank up there so it doesn't look so bad. But we'll see in the future. I want to tidy up the couple of wee loose ends on it. I want to sharpen it. I want to put the wee choil in it. And I'll come back and I'll show you the finished article. This bit here just catches my nail. I'm going to fix that because this to me is just a real keeper for my collection because it's a Spanish knife and I've not had many Spanish knives, if any. So I'll put it that way because it sits that way. And I'll give you some options. Look, the immediate one that sprang to my head, and they also do a finger grip, is a small and cozy. It's near enough exactly the same size as a small and cozy. Blade shape's not that far off, except this is a flat grind and this is a hollow. But again, a beautiful knife, a lovely size knife. That size works, that blade shape works, the drop point works. And it's one of my favourite. Here's another one that I've had for years and years. This is the Kaiser Shoal. Again, exactly the same size. The only difference with these, they're going to have S35VN. You're going to have M390 in this one. And I have the titanium Arceus, which is a little bit bigger, but not very much at all. It's much the same size. This is an M390 as well, I believe. M390. So another beautiful knife. This was in 440C, and what they tend to do now, did I cover? I don't think I did. They have AN58 steel on the knives that I seen today on Amazon and got into the shops. Nearly all their blades. He does a lot of fixed blades as well. Some beautiful Bowie knives. A lot of fixed blades, but he does do a few folding knives. AN58 steel, from what I can ascertain, I just went on quick Google on it. This one's hardened to 58 to 60 on the Rockwell scale, which is nice for 440C, makes it a very useful blade. The AN58 steel is also tempered to 58 to 60, but they're saying it's equivalent to about a 420 HC to a 440 steel. So maybe a little bit less in retention than 440C. I do like 440C, an excellent word. Whether this was the old steel that they used, I'm not sure, but I couldn't see any of the makes on any of the shops. I went to about 3 or 4 different shops and they're all in the AN58. But if it's hardened well to 58 to 60, I can't see there being a problem in it because it's a gentleman's knife. It's not a working knife. I say this aluminium is lovely. It actually looks like titanium. It's really, really nicely done. And again, you just got such good. This pocket clip is lovely and flat. This is a knife you're going to put in a pair of trousers rather than jeans, but it is lovely. There's no hot spot whatsoever, which makes me think I might just leave it on there because it's a pair of trousers or the inside of a jacket pocket where I would probably put this. But I just thought I'd bring this and show it to you. I'll do them wee mods to it and then I'll come back and I'll resharpen it. I'll have a test at it and see what the 440C is like. I'll fix that little bit sticking out the back. This is a collection piece for me. I absolutely will keep this in my collection. It's the size of knife I love. And because of the stupid rules over here, keeping a blade under 3 inches, even if it's a locking blade, and even if I'm taking it in a place where it's okay, under 3 inches keeps me out of harm's way. It's not legal, but there is certain places, even about the house, it's just nice to have it under 3 inches. You're taking away one of the big problems that knife collectors have over here. It's that blade length. But to me, 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches can do everything I will ever need a knife to do, barring sort of survival skills, but it'll do everything else. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that knife. I just think it is beautiful. Once again, Mark, thank you very, very much indeed. It's nice to get on to something else because I have had that number 71 in my pocket. It's still in my pocket now. I'm not even going to lie. It's in my pocket. I love it. But this equally has excited me, and it's nice to get a make that not everybody has. So it's a Miguel Nieto, family-run company in Spain. I just think lovely, and it's something I would like to investigate. And if you like fixed blades, really do go and have a look. There's some beautiful shaped fixed blades there. All right, we paddies away. That's long enough for me. Take care. Cup of tea time. All the very best. Bye now. Bye.